Like, I was going to tell you guys my story really quick. Um, I was a skeptic, Plexus hater. Um, I used to own a CrossFit, and almost you guys probably come here at the CrossFit. And the lady that cut my hair sold Plexus. And with CrossFit, I got like hit every week about supplements, like from Advocare, from like mainstream ones, Body by Myself, pretty much any kind of like supplement you can think of would come in and try to sell us. But Plexus, the lady that cut my hair tried to sell me Plexus every time. She tried to sell me the old accelerator and Slim, and I'm like, shut up. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about. And I was just kind of rude about it. But she was really salesy, and I hated that because, like, to me, I'm like, right? And she was like, you want to order? You know, it wasn't like what benefits or anything that you want to order. So that was my first experience with Plexus. And really, my wife, 2 years ago, June, I told her, I was like, I need you to make $500. But I was like, I want you to stay at home. I don't want you to go back to work because we had a little boy at the time. And she's like, okay. And she brought Plexus to me, and I was like, no. I was like, I think I said hell no, but I don't usually cuss. But that was like emphatic. I was like, we're not going to have any friends. We're not having everybody's going to avoid us. You know, people like see you out. They're like, I don't want to talk to these people because they're crazy multi-level marketers. But because my experience was every time somebody tried to explain to me about, you know, any MLM, they would like blindside me. They'd like invite me to lunch or dinner or to their house and like, oh, by the way, we're doing this. Or I'm like, oh, whatever. And just kind of, I'd never been in a company before. Yeah. But my wife didn't listen to me as usual and did it anyway. And in spite of me, the first month she made like $500 and proved me wrong, you know. And I was like, okay. I was like, she's like, when will you really take me serious? And I was like, when you replace my salary. At the time, I was making around 6 figures. So I was like, you know, that's never going to happen in my head. And I was working for Ecolab. I know some of you are probably familiar with it. We have a lot of Canada stuff. It's a global company. And I traveled all the time, which I didn't like because I had a little boy I wanted to be home with. But my wife, she won the trip to a leaders retreat. I know some of you guys are going. Yeah. And I didn't want to go. That's how, because I travel all the time and I was a jerk. But in my head, I was thinking Plexus. I was like thinking Pink. I was thinking they're probably going to be this Motel 6, probably going to be at some old convention center. It stinks and probably have some lame speaker. In my head, that's exactly what I thought. And she like pretty much drugged me along Orlando. And I got to Orlando and I was her guest. I remember I had my little guest tag. I hated it because I was like, everybody had their like, because they earned it and I didn't earn it. I was there. But we got to the Gaylord. It was really nice. And I was like, who's paying for this? And she's like, Plexus. I didn't believe her. I was like, yeah, whatever. I really don't believe we're going to end up paying for this $300 night hotel. And, but I had like a good time the whole week and ended up, she won a big fat check, you know, the ones that wheel really big checks. But she also wanted this thing to be around the executive dinner and it was around the pool. So it was a bunch of jewels, you know, diamonds and sapphires and emeralds. And my wife was gold, and I was a guest. But we got to go to that. And I was sitting there. I remember I knew who all these people around the pool because I've seen their diamond documentaries because Jessica watched them in bed every night. As far as motivation now, like I know who that person and that person is. But what happened was I had to sit by Sonia Dudley. If you guys don't know who she is, she's awesome. And at the pool, and what hit me was all these people. I mean, there were some beautiful people and some smart ones, but they're normal people. They're everyday people you would go to work with, go to church with, people you would see, you know, normal. They weren't special. And they weren't like the used car salesman, the snake oil salesman. They were just like normal people doing life. And that kind of, I was like, in my head, I was like, this is something that's possible. And kind of built some belief there. And at the same time, I had been taking Triplex for IBS and it helped that. And I was like, you know, I said it helped that, but I was still like, Jessica's kind of, you know, she's dragging along the guest part. I really didn't like that. But I had a good time that week. And it's kind of fun because I look back. It was like the last event where nobody knew who my wife was, knew who I was. So we got to be idiots and dance like fools on the dance floor. I dressed up as Richard Simmons. She dressed up as Jane Fonda. And nobody took our pictures. Nobody knew who we were. So that was one of the last times. And now it's kind of weird. I can't do that as much and can't because I'm always around people talking and stuff. But we had a good time. And what happened was I went back home that September. I worked 2 years ago. September, I worked 24 days that month. I was gone traveling. In October, we went to Leaders Retreat. And that November, my wife won the Silver Stars trip. And I did not want to go. I was like, tried to get out of it. I was like, I'll stay home and watch Judson, my little boy. She's like, no, you're going. But I went and I met Charles and Alec and ate dinner with them. And my mindset changed because I got to be around several people at corporate. Now, most people ask questions. I was like asking questions about the operations. I met, people, customer service people. And I was like, this company's different. And it really is where I shifted because my wife then, she was on fast track. She was like I think senior Ruby. She like bam, 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 just raking like crazy. And I was still the guest name tag. And decided I was like, I don't want to be the guest. I want to work the business and do this myself. And I really went. That was November. I went to work in December, and January I ranked up. In January, I hit gold. And actually, I quit my old field job because my wife started Emerald, working for Ego Lab, and I hit gold in January, senior gold in February, March hit Ruby, won the Silver Stars trip with Krista, also hit senior Ruby that month, and then in May hit Emerald. And my mind, though, like shifted because it went from being one of those things that was kind of a possibility I could do this until – it is something I can do. And I'm a big mindset person. I have a counseling degree, big about what you believe. And even to myself at the time, I'd been kind of defeated because we'd had a business. I did really well in gas and oil, as you guys have seen probably through Canada too. A lot of the oil stand stuff. It kind of went downhill, and I just kind of lost a lot of my own belief in myself. And Plexus really helped do that again, where I could believe it's like, hey, I can do this and work. And because it was really – a free enterprise. How hard you work is how much you get paid. I mean, that is nowhere else is like that, because you take a job, you work by the hour, you get paid the same. Plexus, the harder you work, the longer you work, the better, more efficient you become, the more you get paid. And today, like, I'm living, freedom. I get to live where I want to live. I move back to my hometown. I drive what I want to drive. I drive a big black F-250 redneck, and hang out with my kids. And like this morning, I took them to Mother's Day out, and went in a rush and met with lawyers at 10 o'clock for some other stuff, and went and did cows, got the beef for my family. And it's one of those things that, I know everybody's journey is a little bit different. And I was one of those people, I was so hard-headed that I had to have dinner with the CEO of the company to believe, which is pretty bad. And here's the thing too, because me and my wife work this as a team. If I would have came around sooner, my wife would have helped me build. But she was one of those people who say, I'm not helping you anything until you do something all in. My wife has 7 jewel legs. I have 0. So my wife would have put one of those people under me, hopefully, if I came out earlier. But it's one of those things I had to learn the hard way. And I'm glad I did sometimes. But sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could be diamond right now. But she's a rock star and does awesome stuff. But it's always one of those things that we're always going to be skeptics. Always when people take longer than others. And I was one of those ones, I was her skeptic. I mean, I lived with her and saw her be successful. I saw her at the time. We still got paper checks. We get paper checks in the mail. And I was like, oh, this is probably, it's not going to last. But man, we make ridiculous money. I'm not going to lie. I don't even, and even our own business stuff, we never got paid like this. And like I went to do our taxes today, or the accountant was one of the things with the lawyer stuff. And I was like, our taxes are more than most people make in a year. And I was like, my accountant's like, I hate this. But I was like, hey, at least we're making that much money. And it's a blessing from God. I know it's not just us, but I know we work hard, but at the same time, we try to do the right things with stuff. And our story, it's been an amazing ride in Plexus. Anybody that work hard and just, I think, loves people, it's just an amazing avenue to be able to do the stuff you want to do in life. Yeah. I know that's like a mouthful. So what questions do you have, Chris? I'm sorry, talked way too long.
That's awesome. That was really, really great. Because I haven't heard your whole story. I mean, we went to Silver Stars and we had some pretty good conversations there too. And when you say that it's hard, do you actually mean that it's hard, or because you probably, as you've built your organization, you've gotten more organized too? Oh.
Someday.
Or we hope.
Someday. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a different heart though, isn't it? Like you do always have to be like, you're of a servant's heart with people, but that has so many blessings too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like, I mean, that's where, like my mindset's changed about stuff where anything like with people, like I'm always love people and take time for them. But what happens when you become a leader is like, how much time can I spend with this certain people? Because in reality, a person can only mentor between 5 and 8 people. That's why you look in the military, like squad size, battalion size, all those things that go up by that amount of people you're over. And after that, you kind of lose touch. And even I've been raised in church, all the stuff there, the church planning stuff is like one pastor can only take care of 100 people. Same difference with your team. You lose contact. You can be crazy and write stuff down, but you don't have relationships with those people. And that's why you really have to train and have to really pour into your leaders and help them be self-sufficient, because if you're always doing stuff for them, they're going to be calling you all the time. Right. And Jessica's really good at that. She's a bad cop and I'm the good cop. People like, she won't answer, so she comes to me. And I'm like, I'm the nice one that gives people like way too much grace. And like, we got this big Maui challenge going on right now in our team. And I'm like, deadline was 2 days ago. I'm like, oh, if you turn it in tonight, you can still be in it. And Jessica's like, no. And I'm like, because the group's like 250 people, and she wanted to be people that really wanted to work the business, that really wanted to jump in and do it.
That kind of leads me to my next question then too, is like those IPA challenges. Mm-hmm. How do you keep people committed? Like, is it that they know that you'll cut them out of the group if they don't turn in their assignments? Like, because you actually do have certain things that they're accountable for, don't you?
Yeah, Jessica, the one she's in right now is like the Maui Challenge. And I was kind of let her, because she got her Jules to be a part of it. Each one's doing like a live thing at night. But she did I think when you exclusive people, because you have to sacrifice some of this to be and so there's certain things like we might be writing your wire, doing a video of your wire, or something like that. But she's like, hey, if you don't do this on time, you're going to be cut out of the group. But she has you get 7 days to do it or 6 days. There's plenty of time to do it. And some of the stuff people still put off, and and she's nice about it. Like, hey, do you want to do this or not? Kind of thing. And I was like, I had a group this summer. I started out with 10, and I finished with 3 on a 1. It was a 21 irrefutable laws. And that's life happens. I'm one of those people like, hey, right now not be the best time for you. And where you can put more things to it, because I have to say no to stuff all the time, because if I said yes to everything that came along, I'd be crazy. Yeah. And the IPA challenge, you have to think, is this helping me produce income? And if it's not, there's things I give my time to, like this. I love, friends, helping friends out, because I think that's one thing our jewels are, people are successful, we help each other out. Right. There's some stuff that comes along that I'm like, you're wasting your time. Why are you doing that? Because it's inefficient. And it's just like people scraping through, the points are not right. And I'm like, unless some major glitch happens, the points are right. You just had people didn't order this month, or people that, different things. You might get 5 or 10 points out of it, but you're going to waste 25 hours looking through 10,000 people. That it's really a waste of time. Right. If you're not having a relationship with somebody too, you're not going to be able to know if they just wanted to order or not, because they're not going to respond to you because you don't have a relationship with them.
That's right. Yeah. And relationships are so huge in this business too. Like with your leaders, like how often would you say you're checking in with them on a daily basis or a weekly basis, even outside of that group? Or is that part of your relationship? Is that group that kind of covers your relationship with them?
Me and Jessica, because we're definitely different. Like, we treat everybody the same. Like, we have some, I check in some really, really often, and some not as much, because they're on their own. I have one, she's a teacher. I love her to death, and I want her. She'll be enrolled, but her husband is a douche, but the best way to put it. I'm sorry. I was there too at one time. But she's one of those people that she was going to grad school last year full-time, teaching full-time, highly involved in church. And her husband was just a jerk all the time. But it allowed him this year, he quit his job to go back to school. And she was a full-time breadwinner. But I was like, you better be nice to your wife, But she would be she'd be Emerald of Sapphire right now if she had the time, but she, he's drains it out of her. And I was like, and I've talked to him. I was like, I tell him, I'm straight up, I was like, I love you, but your wife's supporting you. You need to be nice to her.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool. They were actually on a game show in LA like 2 weeks ago, and they're from Arkansas too, and they won a car, a Mazda 3. And he won it. He's the guy that won it. I was like, well, your wife's about to get a Lexus.
Yeah.
And he's like, I know. But it's just there's so many things that, with that you have to watch. Here's my little boy. He's trying to peek in here.
There, look at the blonde hair. Hi.
You say hi?
Was he out with the cattle with you?
No, he stayed here. He had Mother's Day the day of the pumpkin patch, so he had a pumpkin he brought home.
Nice. Good
But
to see you. You're looking at Canadians. Does he know what Canadians are?
he's actually been to Canada. We took him in Niagara Falls when he was, he was still pretty young.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome.
he's traveled the world, Hawaii. He's been like to 15 states. He thinks vacation is a normal way of life. That's the one thing we've got to do something about, because I can't have him thinking that we go on vacation all the time. And
I was talking to Angie and Ted Thomas about that with their son the first year. I think she was Diamond, and she said she came down to the pool one day, and there was, I forget his name right off right now, but he was sitting back and he had a drink in his hand from the tiki bar thing. And she's like, well, where's your grandfather? And he's like, I don't know. He's off playing somewhere. I'm just ordering whatever I want.
Oh yeah. That's
what same thing. She said, we got to rein this kid in.
I got a picture of him. He's like in first class, like laid down with his headphones on, like had bigger in his head. And I'm like, this is not,
It's not going to end well.
I didn't fly first class till I was in the 30s. And
yeah. I've never flown first class ever. So
hey, when you're diamond, you get first class tickets. So
yeah, I'll be taking some selfies that day. You can guarantee.
No.
Oh dear. Well, this is great. So I'll just ask you a couple more things. Is the effort worth it for all the work that you put into it?
It is absolutely worth it, because this little guy here, like he's my buddy. And like I said, 2 years ago I was gone 24 days, and I missed out on a ton of time with him. And sometimes I probably try to make up too much by buying him junk. But like last night, Jessica had a church thing here at the house, and me and him went to the movies and hung out, went to dinner, and just the time with my family and the trips and the friendships too. Like two of my best friends are from Plexus guys that are not on my team, Cody Hawkins and Willie Eichenhorst, and I met them at events. I knew Cody was going to be my friend at Leaders Retreat. Actually, I told him this. He had a shirt on that said "Arm Candy and Insurance Provider." And I was like, yeah, he's always had a sense of humor. If you guys don't know who Cody is, he's married to Jen Hawkins, who like 40% of the company's under. And they're really very humble people and really, really good people.
Yeah.
But it's totally worth it. I was like, at first you don't get paid. And I think that's, our mentality our whole life. It's like, I need to get paid right now. I need to get money. But it's like so much like farming. You're sowing, and you start to reap. And it's kind of like a snowball. You're pushing it up the hill. And finally, one day it goes over the hill and it just takes off. And there's still work. There's still stuff you got to do. But you're constantly learning. The personal growth that's came about too. Like I was big into reading, conferences and stuff. But stuff I learn about myself every day, just to grow more and to be better. Because constantly as a leader, as you're pouring out, you got to pour back into yourself. And you're not doing that, you learn that, hey, I'm not good enough to lead these people yet. I'm still doing that. Still got a lot to learn, but it's definitely worth it more.
Oh, it's so true. Yeah. And the personal growth and development, if Plexus was to stop tomorrow, which we know it's not going to, but that's one thing I take away from it is the personal growth and development, how that it builds you as a person. Like it's amazing what it will do for you when you really put your heart into it. But you do need it to grow in the company too. I do believe it.
And our company, it offers so many things too. I mean, just the speakers and stuff we have, and the new success, that's coming out, and just the things and the people too. Because there's so many I learned stuff from other people, like books, and I'm right now behind the computer. I got like 30 books that I've read, since Plexus, It's just made me a better person, stuff we've shared and get to share.
Yeah, pretty cool. Okay, so I'll ask you one more question. You're more bold than I am in talking with Tarl at any events because I'm usually pretty quiet and introverted. So what is something that you've talked to him about that just kind of blew your mind as far as the direction of the company, or just something like you were like, just, wow, that's pretty cool and amazing?
Well, he's like almost the same age as me, and I'm still better looking, but I always joke. No, one of the first conversations we had at dinner one time was about longevity for the company. That's what, people's like, these things come and go. Well, Tarl, he's proved this even more this last year when he said the company would never be public and always be private. And if you guys, I don't know if you understand about business, when a company goes public, stock prices are what really matter. That's what, how companies make decisions. But a private company can say, like last month, quit, where they want to, give out the extra bonuses. Then they make the decisions. The company owners do. And I think that is such a huge thing. And he said, even after he died, it's in his will that the company can never be made public. And that means it can't be sold, and can't have some people completely come change the stuff in here. And that part is such a big deal. Sorry. Reach.
Totally okay. And he has such a heart for the company, and you can tell that he just he thinks of the ambassadors and other people before himself. It's so evident when you're around him. You can feel that off of him. So
yeah, that's what, he's one of those people that's really socially awkward. But I was like, multi-millionaire. But he's like, it's funny. He genuinely cares about people. And one of the things too, this kind of, people were complaining about they wanted the black Lexuses when they hit Emerald, to be the bigger ones. But he's like, I never want to put somebody in a financial bind because they're trying to buy something out of their price range. I was like, most CEOs wouldn't care about what somebody's buying, but he wants people to be financially responsible. And I was like, that meant a lot to me too. It's like, at least he cares about people and what they're doing, while he thinks about them.
Oh, yeah. No, it's so true. No, I have complete faith that he knows exactly what he's doing with the company, and that we're going to be around for a long time and share many more blessings from it. So, yeah. Well, thank you so much for jumping on. And I
want to see all you guys in Hawaii next year.
Oh, yes. We got some major runners happening. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Exactly. Amazing.
Hey, that's one of the trips. When you go to Hawaii one time, you're like, I'm coming back every year. And it's like,
an energy boost in your day. The amazing energy you feel from balancing your blood.
There we go. Could you just speak one little thing about inspiring everybody to try out for Silver Star? I do have one here that's watching. Julie, if you can raise your hand. Yeah. She won and was just there not too long ago with her partner, Tanya. So if you could just speak a little bit about helping your team to go silver and what that means for them, but also what it means for you as a leader too.
Okay, first thing, I was like, one of the easiest principles you can have and duplicate to everybody is go silver. Even when they start out, because it's one of those things that's, hey, you're going to make $175 right out the bat. And this month, actually $275 with the bonus. So, every month we try to go silver no matter what. But one of the reasons I want to go Silver Star Strip, I had a great time. Mount Lucia, if you ever stayed there, is amazing. And so I was like, I went with my wife, but I was like, I want to earn this too. So it's kind of a pride thing for me. I was like, I'm going back. And I even thought I won it in February. That's why I set my goal out for 20 the next month, and I hit that. And went 3 months with Krista, but I was like, that's such an important thing every month. If you're always going silver yourself, you're completely, that production mode. Because with Plexus is, you never know that day you sign up Select Win. You never know that day that person you talk to that needs this financially, they might be getting fired from the job. They might need that. That one person can change your whole company. And that's what, if you don't stay in production mode, I think a lot of people lose that. And we've seen some older diamonds, I know Krista noticed too, that they're not as successful because they kind of got complacent. And my wife, last night, one of my cousins about to sign up, and we were fighting over her because my wife's re-entered. She's like diamond gold. And she's like, no. I was like, she's related to me. I was like, I talked to her for, kind of fighting over that just because. But that production part has to be part of your stuff all the time, because this is, in reality, it's a numbers game. Because, you might sign up 400 people, and that one person is one person that takes things to the next level. And don't prejudge anybody. Because one of the things, I have a girl in my hometown. I grew up with her. She's actually on Timmy Yancey's team, who's, you guys know she's a diamond. Well, she's one of Timmy's strongest leaders. If I would have reached out to her first, but I didn't think she needed plexus, I would be diamond right now.
Wow.
So I have that reminder all the time. I go to church with her. I see her and her husband. We hang out, so that, those things, you never know that one person, who needs it. And everybody needs plexus. It'd be for the health or finance, either one. But 3, Silver Stars trip, it's a great goal every month until your senior Ruby, you're past it. You should want to get that every month.
Oh yeah, it totally changed my life too. Like, because it was just so amazing just to win it. Even it was just kind of like, wow, that was so amazing. But then what it did for the team, even for the team environment, and then to have Julie to win later, and it was such a blessing for us. So
you get to see really, and you get to see something need to be made feel really special. I mean, you have a car to pick you up for yourself, and you have like this amazing room, and you get an executive dinner where a lot of times I've sat with Tarl and Alec a couple times other places, and they're like 27 people, like, hey, they're always vying for attention. And, but it's like kind of your own little everything you get to see, and you get to make it feel special. Like I would go again if I could win it again.
I know.
I might try to win it on my re-entry, see if they'll let me.
Oh, can you do that?
I don't know. I'll fight for it and say, hey, how many people had silver this month?
Exactly. But it's about going silver your own self personally, because in July and August, I was complacent myself and didn't go my silver that I normally like to go. And you lose your skills a little bit because you're not on that hype, of like training and plugging people in. And so then in September, when I kind of like re-engaged, it was kind of like, oh, right, I forgot to add them to that because, I wasn't on that mindset of training somebody. And so, but when you keep that momentum up for yourself, you keep going and building.
See, we're really right now just playing with shells.
And he wants your attention. So I think we're going to go now, and you're going to have to probably take a nap after throwing cattle around today. So.
Hey, well, you guys have a great night. Like I said, I hope to see you guys in Hawaii. If you guys are at Leader Retreat, convention, come up talk to me, because I need to meet people. I love talking to people. I'm extreme extrovert. My wife's not. She's not talking to anybody. But that's definitely, you guys have a great leadership. Chris is awesome. I'm excited for you guys because this is, like I said, the company's awesome. But you guys have a great night, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks a lot. Take care.
Bye.
Okay.